Mr. President is supposed to give a marching order for the military with timeline that they have 90 days to deal with this problem and put an end to it, and that he doesn't want to hear any news coming out from Benue State or Plateau State or any other state with this kind of killings. That's the kind of marching order I'm expecting to see. But what I saw was Mr. President calling out the service chiefs, IG of police, he stood up, the DG, DSS, he stood up, the chief of defense staff, he stood up. And I was like remembering my days in the primary school when they give us roll call. You stand up to answer your name. So that's what I saw. But that's not what it will be. And he was asking them, why is there no arrest yet? That's ridiculous. This is the question he would have asked the same very day this attack was perpetrated, on the 13th of June. It is not in Benue State that will be asking the IG of police, where have there not been any arrests? Is he saying that he has not been briefed since the day this attack happened? That is now asking them, why is there no arrest yet? This is how it has been. Once we have this kind of killings in different parts of the country, there is no arrest. The only people they arrest is people that tweet or people that, post something against the government and all that. That's the kind of people they arrest, whether on TikTok or Facebook or anywhere. But hello, my people. Welcome to my channel. This is Andy Media TV. You recall that a few days ago, some armed men tagged Fulani herdsmen attacked the Yelwata Community in Benue State and killed over 200 people. Some houses were set ablaze and some people residing in those houses were burned alive. So based on these killings, the citizens have been crying out, drawing the attention of the government for them to do something in addressing these perennial killings. You also recall that these killings have been going on across the country, both in Plateau State, in Borno State, and similar other states who has had their fair share of this kind of attack. So based on citizen outcry, the president adjusted his schedule to visit the people of Benue State to commiserate with them. During that visit, a lot of things took place, which I would like to examine in this video. But before I proceed, if you are new to my channel, kindly like and share this video and subscribe to my channel. And also press the notification bell so that when my next new video drops, you will be among those to be notified. All right. Let's look at the key things that took place in that state. First, I'm going to start with the welcoming of the president. We knew that there were some circulars, that the Benue State government issued out, trying to mobilize, the citizens to come and welcome the president, right from the airport, where he's going to land, down to Urukum, junction. So based on that fact, the state declared public holidays to allow students to be able to participate. So one begin to wonder, why all this preparation? This is a condolence visit. So it got many people, talking that why is the state government doing all this kind of preparation when the state is in a mourning mood? Despite that, we saw on video how pupils of, secondary schools were, placed on strategic locations on the highway singing national anthem to welcome the president. And this incident was taking place under the rain. This made me to recall my days in the National Youth Service Corps program, the NYSC program, where we always sang our anthem. There's a phrase that said, under the sun or in the rain, Nigeria we serve, right? So, but I recall that these kids are neither coppers or graduates, that they are just, say, secondary school and primary school pupils. So why would they be serving their nation under the sun, under the rain at that age? So this got many people worried because these are people's kids. And most of them there may have family members who were also cut down in that attack at Yelwata Community. So it didn't go down well with a lot of people, including myself, because I felt that this is kind of exploitation, and this is kind of, infringing on the rights of these kids. They are not supposed to be there in the first place, not to talk of being there under the rain. But another thing happened, in the sense that we saw, the convoy, the convoy that went ahead of the president being almost submerged by flooding because there was a heavy downpour. But many people were like, oh, that's fine. At least they can witness firsthand what the citizens are going through. And you know that in most cases, when we make this kind of videos highlighting the thing that is going on across the country, what do we hear from, the All Progressive Congress and those aides serving under the Mr. President will be that, oh, these people hate Mr. President, they hate APC, it's because most of them lost the election, that is why they are angry and all that. But that's not the point. The point is that a lot of things are not working. And I saw it on the tabloid, on the TV station, stating that the president's visit was kind of delayed as a result of bad roads. But when we are talking that the construction of the coastal highway is not It is not a key priority at this time because we have other internal rules which people use on daily basis that are death traps. They will not understand. They will, the party or the aides to the president will be, issuing out all kinds of, statement, attacking the people who are raising these flags, that the government need to focus on the immediate need of the citizens, particularly roads infrastructure. Most roads are death traps, but they don't understand because they fly private jet and they are also conveyed by helicopter in most cases. So the convoy of the president were almost submerged, by this flooding that we saw in most of the videos that are circulating online. Having said that, one major incident that also took place was the tortive, of Benue State bringing up the key issues, stating that this is not issue of communal clash or any other thing, but this is issue of genocide and issue of land grabbing, that these Fulani herdsmen are trying to take over their state. So based on that, at least the problem is now being identified. That is not communal clash between anybody. And that's why I was saying in my previous videos that president that is asking the state governor to go and make peace with who? Because the people that does this attack, they dash in like ghosts, perpetrate the attack, and disappear. And that is it. So now we know that we are dealing with deadly armed bandits. That's what it is. So no matter how they coin it, these guys are not there for any negotiation. They are not there for anything. They are just there to forcefully get rid of these people in their communities and for them to be able to take over those communities. That is just the basic thing. They don't need Mr. President to be the one to tell them that human life worth more than the life of a cow. So based on all these things that took place in Benue State, I'm going to take you through other aspects. Again, the speech that came out from Mr. President, I think I watched it, it's about 31 minutes, in some of the media houses. And what Mr. President was saying was not the kind of speech that is meant to be delivered in this kind of environment. This is a mourning environment. It's not a place where Mr. President will want to project himself as a problem solver. That, in Lagos State, there are similar cases like this. It transformed the challenges to opportunity. And he has been the president for over 2 years. And these attacks have been going on not just in Benue State, but also in Plateau State, in Borno State. They have been kidnapping everywhere. So why can't he also deploy the same strategy to solve it nationally, if that is the issue? But that's not the issue. The issue is for Mr. President to deliver a speech that will reassure the community that the federal government is with them and will support them to go through this phase, and that they will get hold of those who are perpetrating this evil and be able to put an end to that. That is the kind of reassuring message he's supposed to, deliver. But I think many people are kicking against the speech, including myself, because it was talking about, setting up committees. What kind of committees? Who told you that the state have never done anything working with the committees to find out how to resolve their issues with those who are killing them? They must have done that long before now. Don't forget that this issue started prior to even this administration. Under Buhari, they went into Agatu community, killed over 70,000 people who were buried in the same day. So it's not news about this killing. So at this point, if you are setting up committees to do what? In Nigeria, we know committees don't work. When they finish their work and submit the blue paper or white paper or whatever color of paper, at the end, nothing is done. It ends up in shelf. So why are you wasting their time asking them to be setting up committees to do what? So Mr. President is supposed to give a marching order for the military with timeline that they have 90 days to deal with this problem and put an end to it, and that he doesn't want to hear any news coming out from Benue State or Plateau State or any other state with this kind of killings. That's the kind of marching order I'm expecting to see. But what I saw was Mr. President calling out the service chiefs, IG of police, he stood up, the DG, DSS, he stood up, the chief of defense staff, he stood up. And I was like remembering my days in the primary school when they give us roll call. You stand up to answer your name. So that's what I saw. But that's not what it will be. And he was asking them, why is there no arrest yet? That's ridiculous. This is the question he would have asked the same very day this attack was perpetrated, on the 13th of June. It is not in Benue State that will be asking the IG of police, where have there not been any arrests? I don't think, I think he just set up the service chiefs, with the people of Benue State, as the case may be. Is he saying that he has not been briefed since the day this attack happened? That is now asking them, why is there no arrest yet? This is how it has been. Once we have this kind of killings in different parts of the country, there is no arrest. The only people they arrest is people that tweet or people that, post something against the government and all that. That's the kind of people they arrest, whether on TikTok or Facebook or anywhere. But this kind of huge, massive attack that took away the lives of over 200 people, there's no single arrest. Same thing within Plateau, no arrest. And so many other places. People are kidnapped on daily basis, no arrest. So, well, if this coming to Benue is, one of the systems through which the eyes of the president will be open to see firsthand what is going on in Nigeria, maybe that can be one of the key benefits that we take away from, his visit. So, well, he has seen it, because I recall DGDSS saying that the citizens should be the first line of defense. They should defend themselves. They don't have arms, they don't have weapons, they don't have anything. These are helpless people in a community that doesn't even have any infrastructure. How will they defend themselves? That is the question. So I think Mr. President made a commitment that he's going to recruit some youths with millions to join the police and the rest of them. How many has he recruited? What has he done in relation to that? Because one of the key problems is that we don't have adequate police. We don't. Nigeria has between 350 to 400,000 police that is policing over 200 million people. Out of the 400,000, if you take away the ones that follows politicians, take away the ones that follow celebrities, take away the ones that follow, private individuals that are, the wealthy and the rich, how many is remaining from the 400,000 to police the other citizens? So you will see where the problem is coming from. And that is the reason the army is overstretched. Any little thing, they deploy the army, because we don't have adequate police. So these are the key issues that government need to work on, and deal with to bring these kind of, situations to an end. Then Mr. President also, made mention of, the state, volunteering some land for, for grazing. I don't agree with that. No state is supposed to provide land for anybody. Animal rearing is a private business. Go and ask Dangote. Ask Aliko Dangote. He will tell you where he built this refinery in Lagos. He said he spent $100 million to procure the land where he built the refinery. When you study production, the first, key factors of production is land. You have to start your business on a land. So all those who own those cattle should go and buy their land and establish their grazing field in their land. You can't be asking the state government to bring land free and give people to be doing their business free. There's no businessman that does not pay to acquire his or her office. You pay rent for those that hire their office or lease their office. For those that own it, they paid to acquire that land where they built it. What is Wike doing in Abuja? Wike is seizing houses because of ground rent. He's seizing people's houses. He's taking over lands. He's taking over, properties because people have not paid ground rent. So why will the government now volunteer land and give private business owners? So for them to continue to do what they are doing in terms of trying to sack a community to take over their land forcefully, that is illegal. And anyone that is doing that need to be brought to book. So for me, I think the president should be looking at the only way government can support is to make funds available for people to borrow at a very reasonable, maybe 1-digit interest rate, just to provide support to those who own these cattle and want to establish their ranch. And then they will now ban open grazing by law. So I've been abroad. I've not seen a cow moving around anywhere abroad. And this, president and the rest of them, they come to abroad. I believe he has been to France several times. He has not seen a cow. He has been to UK. He has not seen a cow with his eyes, except he goes to a ranch. That's how it works. Why will our case be different? Can't we just be learning things that works and implement them in our own, country? So I also say kudos to President. I saw him visiting, some of the victims at the hospital, trying to encourage them and wish them quick recovery. That's great. That's good. And also we look forward that Mr. President will also adjust his schedule to visit, Niger State, where flooding took even more than 200 persons as well. So these are the kind of things Nigeria want to see. When there are issues of this nature, Mr. President should go in person, because when he was campaigning, he visited most of these states. So now that they're having issues, he's supposed to be there in person to encourage them and to support them in going through that phase of life, not issuing a statement from Aso Rock. So when you do this, you see how you'll be getting closer to the people, and you begin to even understand the plight of the people. So that when people are talking, making video, drawing your attention to what is going on in the country, you will understand that, yes, these people are trying to let me know that there is need to solve this problem. Not that your aides will be come and telling you that these people are issuing propaganda against you. They don't want you to come for second tenure and all that. That's not the point. The point is that we want a country that works for everyone. So that is it. So we understand that, before now that the president have always given marching orders to, the service chief and all the security chiefs to, nab perpetrators and bring them to book. But we are still at the same spot. Nothing changes, nothing happens. The killing continues. Is it that the service chiefs are not following his orders or what? I don't think so. I think there's a whole lot of fundamental problems that need to be tackled. If you're asking service chiefs to, to go, and get these guys and bring them to book, you have to provide what they need for them to be able to get it done. So, and nobody knows who is protecting these guys. Nobody knows who are funding these guys, because the guys that I see on TV are not the kind of guys that can procure AK-47. They don't have that resources to do that. They don't have resources to procure the kind of guns I'm seeing them carry. So there must be somebody behind them who is funding them. So they have to follow the money to get those who are funding them. I recall there was during President Buhari's administration, the United Arab Emirates, released list of those that are funding terrorism in Nigeria. I recall, and some of them were arrested in UAE and jailed. But most of others who are supposed to be prosecuted in Nigeria, till today, none have been prosecuted. None have been arrested. So who is fooling who? Because when we look at what is going on in the country, the federal government can't tell us they don't know who and who is doing whatever that is happening in Nigeria, whether it's terrorism, whether it's kidnapping, or whether it is killings going on in the country. They can't tell us that. So because why didn't they act on the list that the UAE provided to them? Why? Nobody was arrested. Nothing happened till date. So what exactly is going on in the country? Who are people behind these genocidal activities that we are witnessing across the state, particularly the North Central? We need to know. So government need to come out clean, because it's not enough to give marching orders. It's enough to see those marching orders yield the result. We have had statements coming out from the presidency over and over again. When this kind of attack happens, they condemn the killing, they do this one, we stand with you, the killing continues. I don't understand. That is why I was of the opinion that the speech delivered by the president in Benue State is not good enough compared to the situation. It's not aligned to the situation. And those who are handling Mr. President, the handlers, I think that they don't even understand what they are doing, because Mr. President is supposed to put on black. He's going there for mourning, not blue. Supposed to put on black to match the situation of what is going on there. So these are part of the mistakes, things we have identified in all this stuff. And I must tell you that it's good that he was there in person, but his visit obviously will still not add any solution to what is going on. And that is the honest truth. Don't forget that the Chief of Defense Staff was there in June. 48 hours after he left, another attack took place. So these guys, they are not joking. I saw one video, one guy threatening very dark man, in terms of going to Benue to see that is just the beginning, that more attacks are coming. So what are we talking about? So we need to understand that this issue is not just coming to an end. This is obviously because until they come out clean to tell Nigerians what is going on in Benue, and also why government is not nipping this in the bud. I have questioned where are the intelligence community. What are they doing? Why don't they have clue that something of this nature is going to happen? They should have a clue, all of them, the NIA, the DSS, the DMI, the police intelligence outfit as well. So all of them put together. Are they telling us that none of them saw this on their radar, that there will be an attack? Because it's their job to collect intelligence. It's their job. So again, when you say you want to rely on the community to provide intelligence, the question is, the way Nigeria works, when people walk up to the police to provide information, they first hold them as suspects. It has happened over and over again. And all this discourages people from coming out to volunteer information. So the police needs to look into all these things and be able to assure citizens that they are safe. And even in most places, when people provide this information, it is them that will go and leak it to their enemies. And the enemy will go and attack the person. If you recall, the FIJ, undercover guy who went to Port Harcourt to look at the oil bunkering situation. Remember, the information he gave out to, the army guys that, he interfaced with was the same thing that those in the undercover, when his car was blown, was telling him. How did they know? So these are the issues. So when you are asking the people of the community to volunteer and give you guys intelligence and all these things, you guys don't manage intelligence properly. You guys also release this intelligence to the people that they are providing the information against. And these guys will retaliate, to those who provided intelligence. So you guys need to put your house in order and work together. Like, all the security apparatus need to work together, share intelligence, and be able to address this problem. This killing is too much. And if you guys don't do anything, more will come. Nobody was surprised when Mr. President was asking the IG, why is there no arrest yet? Nobody was surprised. Remember, Mr. President visited on the 18th, and this incident took place on the 13th. So, 5 days interval, no arrest. And you say we're a serious nation? We are not. We are not a serious nation. Why is there no arrest? Because it's the normal thing. It's the usual thing that happens. They just carry convoy, go to the community, and the police will move around with with hood, carry hefty guns and all this. The moment they do their interview on camera, they go, and that's the end. It's just photo ops. That's what it is. So why has there not been arrest after 5 days? The incident happened. Not one arrest, not one. So when Mr. President was asking that question, it should be a shame to the security community. It should be a shame to them. And one way or the other, President brought you guys out to the open. And another way is also indicting the president, because he's supposed to have been briefed from day one. Even the governor is supposed to have called him and say, hey, this is what we are going through. Or the service chiefs is supposed to have been briefed by the NSA of what is going on. So if since 13th he's aware that this attack happened, and from 13th to 17th he did not ask who have been arrested until 18th he visited Benue, then something is wrong. Something is wrong. So it just means that nobody cares. Nobody cares about what happened to anybody. Nobody cares. All they care is photo ops. That's what it is. So even when the Benue State issued a circular, calling out people to come out in mass, people that are mourning, to live with their families where they are mourning. Some people lost 5 people in one family, to come out to stand on the road to welcome Mr. President. Even from Abuja, they're supposed to have called and say, hey, no, don't do that. We don't need all this kind of this. We are coming in strictly, and then we do our thing quietly and we live quietly. It's a mourning period. But there's nobody who has that thinking to be able to call the state governor to order that they don't need those kind of photo ops. This is mourning. This is burial. In burial, they don't do all these kind of things. Except if it's like celebration of life. Somebody that have lived 90 something years and has achieved everything, they're just celebrating him. That's a different thing. But these kids, women, men were massacred, killed, burnt alive. Is that why you are doing photo ops? Is that why you are asking people to stand on the rail and be singing national anthem? So, I don't know. But I think a lot of things wasn't good enough, in that visit. But we still appreciate that he visited in person. At least those in this convoy who was cut off with the flooding will be able to let him know that that road need immediate attention. So that is one of the benefits that they will relate to him. And 2, he has gone to the hospital. We see how the hospital looks like. That's one of the pictures which Arise News guys did a photo of the day. When you look at the picture, the woman was so upset. He has a little boy who was butchered, and they were like bandaged everywhere. And the president came in. She didn't care whoever that came in, because she's in pain. The baby is in pain. All right. So this to show you how angry the citizens are that things are not really working the way they expected it to be, and the way the party promised them that once Tinubu takes over, everything will be okay, because he's a strategist, because he built Lagos and all those kind of stuff. But that's not what they are saying today. Benue State is APC. So I don't know how and what to say concerning that. So maybe by 2027, they're going to decide if APC is going to continue. If they feel they are well governed and they are well protected, that is their job to decide. But the fact remains that the paramount function of government is to secure lives and property. All right? And then people's welfare. Can Benue State say that their lives and property have been secured? That's the question for them to answer. Because I recall seeing a farmer whose farmhouse was burnt down. He has a whole lot of paddy in those stores. The paddy were burnt. And one of the people in that video made by a very dark man was saying that the cost of the paddy is over 27 million. That's gone because of these killings. So will they say that they have been well protected? Will they say that their governor or the government has protected them? That's for them to answer. Now, we've had people, the governor should protect the state, the governor should protect the citizen. The governor has no capacity to do that. He's not the commander-in-chief of the armed forces. By state, they will tell you that governor is the chief security of the state. That's on paper. In reality, the governor cannot command the army. The governor cannot command the police. The governor cannot command the navy and the rest of them. Any security architecture you want to command, they have to get clearance from Abuja. So the president is the commander-in-chief. So the whole issue of security lands on the table of the president. It is what it is. Take it or leave it. That's for you. But the point remains that wherever there is this crisis, killings and order, we have to hold the president accountable. He said he asked for the job, that we should not pity him. So we need to be telling him what the situation looks like. We need to be telling him what people are going through so that he, who took up this job and said he can do it, to begin to address them. He has gone 2 years already, and we are still in pain. People are dying on a daily basis. People are being killed in their sleep, burned alive, kidnapped on their way. Is that how we're going to continue? The federal government needs to sit up and do the needful and put these things to an end. Nip this thing in the bud. This is not time for politics. This is not time for campaign. This is not time for candidates of 2027. This is the time to work. It is your work that will determine if you are even supposed to buy form to contest. That is what it is. We know that people's vote doesn't count, but be it as it may, the people are still there. So we should remember that these are families who lost their loved ones. Some lost 5 people in their family. There's one man that said he lost 11, 6 in one of the side and 5 in the other building. One family, 11 people. Think about it. Think about how they feel. Think about what happened to those people they lost. Think about the vacuum this thing have created and the post-traumatic, order that they'll be going through if they remember what happened to them. These are the reasons the government should be sincere in dealing with this problem. Ban open grazing. Request all owners of cattle to go and buy their land and build their ranch. Support them with a loan with lower interest rate. That is the way it's done everywhere globally. I've not seen any government who map that land free and give out to and build ranches and give it out to private businesses to raise their cattle. I've not seen that anywhere in the world. Every business, you require land. You require your land. You pay for it to get it. That's the way it works. So, I don't know, but I think we really need to take action to deal with this problem decisively. Again, please, politicians, stop exploiting our children. Stop exploiting our kids, bringing them out from school and leaving them under the rain to be singing national anthem. That is absurd. That is wickedness. And your own children are not part of those people. Those politicians, obviously you won't see the children of the commissioners there. You will not see the children of the minister from that state there. You will not see the children of the SSG there. They are not there. It's the children of the ordinary man. Their own children are in AC. But the others are standing under the rain to sing national anthem because president is coming to their state to mourn, not to come and commission projects or not to come and bring investors to invest in Benue. No, it's ridiculous. Nigeria should wake up and do the needful. So guys, I don't know what else you may think. These are part of the things I've figured out, from this visit that didn't go too well, which I feel that lessons should be learned from and next time should be improved upon. And I've given kudos to the things that Mr. President have done well for going there in person and also, visiting the hospital where those who died. In as much as I know, according to the weather, that's why they couldn't go to the Yelwata community, because it would have been good if he had touched down there with a helicopter, to see the community and see the devastation firsthand. However, Very Dark Man covered it. The video is there on his page. You can watch the video and see firsthand how people were burnt and all that. I don't know what you think concerning, this visit, but please, whatever you feel that didn't go well or that went well, please kindly put it at the comment section, and then we'll continue to talk about all these things and see how we continue to improve on our nation. So guys, if you are new to my channel, kindly like and share this video and also subscribe to my channel. And don't forget to click on the notification bell so that when my next new video drops, you'll be among those that will be notified. All right? And I'm going to say to you, thank you for watching this video and stopping by on my channel. I'm going to see you in my next video. Do have a wonderful day, right? I'm signing out. See ya.